So the Rhythm of War came out like what 5 months ago now, and for me, the biggest mystery is the Heralds, and to this day we still don't know too much about the Heralds. The Heralds are important. I have a theory. Probably not true. My knowledge of the Heralds is abysmal. It's not like I drenched myself in the 17th shard so I can get everything right. I don't have the time for that. The Heralds are these beings, I believe, created by Honor to lead the future of humanity, and each herald is associated with a specific order of radiance, and there are 10 orders of radiance. It is believed that each order was built in the image of each of these heralds. 10 orders of Knights Radiant, 10 heralds, 5 women, 5 men. Let's start off with the Bondsmiths. This order is led by Ishar. We got Jezrien, who is the herald of the Windrunners. We've got the Skybreakers, which is led by Nale, and he's that guy who's probably the most prominent herald throughout the Stormlight archive. He's the guy with that moon scar birthmark thing. Then we got the Dustbringers, which is led by Chanarach, because we don't actually know much about the Dustbringers. Even their searches are very vague to us. The Edgedancers, my personal favourite, an order of Knights Radiant, which is led by Vedel. Then we've got the Truthwatchers, led by Palilah. Then we got the Lightweavers, led by Shallash, who, like Nale, is also quite prominent throughout the Stormlight archive. She's that woman who's just destroying paintings and statues of herself. The Else Callers, which is led by Batar. After that, we got the Willshapers, led by Kalak. And then finally, we got the Stonewards, led by Town. And Town's important because Town is the guy they all done dirty, because they all left this guy on Braze to fight whatever the hell's going on in Braze. And he's been maintaining this oath pact for 4,500 years. And how it works is that if one of them opts out, they're like, I can't do this, they go back to Rosha, everyone comes back. So does the Fused and all the Voidbringers, and the Desolation starts again. Yeah, so the Heralds are kind of assholes, right? Well, that's my brief history of the Heralds. If you're watching this video, I'm guessing you already have read the Stormlight archive. This is not a Herald video where I'm giving the history, this is a theory video. Alright, so let me get into my theory. I believe, so we know that the Oath Pact has been broken, to say, right? I believe that Book 5 will end up with a new Oath Pact, with new heralds. Not these guys, the characters in the story will become the new heralds, one for each order of Knights Radiant. I believe the characters we have been introduced to in the Stormlight archive, the characters we fell in love with over these 4 books, will become the new heralds. Some of them, you can guess who it will be, very obvious. Some of them, you'll be surprised, will not be part of it. I'm going to assign a character to each of these orders, and I believe these are the characters that will be part of the new Oath Pact.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Do you want McDonald's?
Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but basically my mom interrupted me, asking me if I want the McDonald's. Anyway, moving on. So let me start off with the Bondsmiths. The Bondsmiths, I believe, are the ones who made the Oath Pact. The most prominent Bondsmith is Dalinar, who's one of the main characters in the series. However, it's not Dalinar. I do not think it's Dalinar. I never thought Dalinar would be fit into this theory. Should I tell you why? I think there are other things saved up for him. I do believe after Rhythm of War, okay, seriously, big spoilers for Rhythm of War. I'm going to spoil one of the best scenes in Rhythm of War, but basically, Taravangian is now the vessel for Odium, the Shard of Odium. And before Rhythm of War, there was this theory going around that cultivation specifically touched 3 people, Lift, Dalinar, and Taravangian, and people believed that those 3 will embody or become the new vessels for the 3 shards. I didn't really believe this until Rhythm of War happened, because Taravangian is now the Shard of Odium. I'm pretty confident this theory is true. I do believe Dalinar, I don't believe Honor is dead, and I do believe Dalinar will become Honor, and Lift will become Cultivation. That also means I don't think Lift will become the Herald for the Edgedancers, because Lift belongs to the order of the Edgedancers, right? But I have another character for that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So Navani Colan is a bondsmith, and I'm confident Navani Colan will be the bondsmith heralds, the windrunners. This is the most obvious one. It's Kaladin. Moving on, we got the Skybreakers. This is obvious. This is another obvious one. Szeth. Obviously, Szeth is now a Skybreaker. He's so closely associated with Nale, who used to be the herald of the Skybreakers. It just makes sense that Szeth would be the herald of the Skybreakers. We got the Dustbringers. Now, this is one that was so difficult, and it was the one that I was convinced would completely destroy this theory, because we don't know shit about the Dustbringers, and we don't even know the herald Chanarach, and the only prominent Dustbringer I could think of was Malata. If you don't remember, Malata was that associate of Taravangians. Another part of the heralds is that there are 5 men and 5 women. 5 consecutive men and 5 consecutive women. If you look here, we've got Kalak, Town, Ishar, Jezrien, Nale. Then we got Chanarach, Vedel, yeah, you can see the thing. That is another basis for this new theory. Not only is there 10 people who are associated with each order, it has to be 5 men, 5 women, and it has to be in a consecutive order. But I think it's gonna be pushed back by 2 orders. So I believe the Willshapers and the Stonewards will now be a woman, and the Dustbringers and the Edgedancers will be a man. But it still continues. There will be 5 consecutive men in each of these positions. Oh, I forgot about the Truthwatchers. Yeah, that's also going to be a dude. Oh, and the Bondsmith also is a woman, because it's Navani Colan, right? So the Dustbringer has to be a man. Malata is a woman, and there are no other Dustbringers. However, I completely, not neglected, I forgot about Dawnshard. Ralna. That name doesn't ring a bell. Don't feel bad. I completely forgot about this dude as well. So Ralna is the king of the Reshi Owls. Not the Reshi Owls, but he was the king who resided on Reluna. You know them, the Reshi Owls. They're basically like the freaking line turtles from Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? And in that one Risen chapter in Words of Radiance, there was a king, right, who was designated female at birth, but she identifies as a man. He makes an appearance in Dawnshard. Not only is he a Dustbringer now, but his gender has actually been changed physically by bonding a Spren and becoming a Radiant. His physical appearance has matched what he believes himself to be, which is a really cool aspect of the story. Ralna is a dude, he's a man, and he's a Dustbringer. Yeah, so I'm editing this video right now, and I just realized that there is no fan art for this character at all. So we're just gonna have to accommodate for it. So I'm just gonna load up Photoshop and let's do this. We'll start off with that lion turtle thing they all live on in the Reshi Owls. You know, from like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Giant big turtle. Let's give a turtle face. Right, not too bad. A little crusty, but it'll do. I need to do its arms and legs, or fin, or whatever they call it. You know what? It just looks like a giant turtle. Alright, I need to do like buildings and stuff to make it look like, you know, a city. Right, there's a tower with some windows. I'm going to just do a house here. It's going to have a triangle on top, just so you know it's a house. Alright, let's do a castle, because a king lives here. Oh crap, I forgot about the actual character, Ralna. Alright, let me just draw him sitting on a chair. Yeah, let's do that. Just to give context for people who don't remember this scene in the Stormlight archive, I'm just going to draw Risen falling to her death. She's got like these really weird Thalen eyebrows. Moving on, we've got the Edgedancers. So like I said, it's not going to be Lift, and plus it has to be a man. 5 consecutive men, remember that. So in Rhythm of War, we were introduced to this character called Godek, who used to be an Ardent but now is a Radiant, and he's an Edgedancer. He's the guy who accompanied Adolin and Shallan to Shadesmar. Seems like a good guy. I think he fits the bill. Yeah, you can guess. Once again, this character also doesn't have fan art. So you know what that means. I'm going to have to load up Photoshop again. Alright, let's go boys, round 2. Alright, Godric is described to be an Ardent, or he used to be an Ardent. So they used to like have shaved heads and like a beard. Alright, at this point I just do not have the energy to make a body, so let's just do a little stick figure. You get the idea. Make people understand who this character is, it's best to draw his spren. So cultivation spren, they're like made up of vines and stuff, just a whole bunch of vegetation just intertwining in this tangle. They also are described to have like little pieces of crystal in them, so I'm just going to add some blue colouring. Jesus Christ, that is terrifying. You know what, I think I'm actually getting better at this. So moving on, we got the Truthwatchers. You would think it would be a Renarin, right? Because Renarin is a Truthwatcher. But the thing is though, Renarin is an interesting case because he's bonded a Void Spren. It's not a true Truthwatcher Spren, or whatever the Spren is supposed to be like for the Truthwatchers. It's not a pure one. And he's a bit of an outlier. I believe this is going to be Rain. Rain is the singer. I'm sorry, I'm not a racist, I promise you. So in Rhythm of War, he's become a Truthwatcher. It's got to be him. It's got to be Rain. Plus, we need a bit more, ethnic diversity in the whole new Heralds thing. You don't just want it to be all Alephic people, right? Now, we've had 5 male characters so far. Now, we're going to start off with the women. Moving on to the Lightweavers. Another obvious one is going to be Shallan. I can't imagine it being anyone else. Next, Elscaller. I would pick someone other than Jasnah if it wasn't for the fact that there are no other Elscallers in this story other than Jasnah. I've actually looked it up. Maybe I'm going crazy, or maybe I've just missed something, but I'm pretty sure Jasnah is the only Elscaller in this story. So yeah, I guess Jasnah. Then we got the Willshapers. This is going to be Venli. So Venli is also another singer, and she is now a Willshaper. Then we got the Stonewards. This, like the Dustbringers and the Edgedancers, is going to be another C-list, D-list character, and it's going to be Zu. If you don't know, Zu was that hairy woman who was also part of Adolin and Shallan's crew in Shadesmar in Rhythm of War. And she's a Stonewood. She fits the bill. That's all you need. Yep. No fan art. Once again. Alright, round 3, Photoshop, let's go. So, I don't know much about how Iriali women look. I think the only feature I can distinguish is the blonde hair. So let's just give her like, not a bright yellow, just a little bit of a dirty yellow. Like Adolin Colin's hair. Yeah, there we are. You know what, this actually might be my best work yet. Like, no joke, this is actually looking pretty good. You know what, I might commit to the body. Yeah, let's do a full body this time. Screw this, I can't be bothered to do the legs. Peak Spren are described to look like rocky monsters, like people made out of rocks. And I'm not gonna draw that, so let's just do this. There we go. And also, 5 of the heralds have like this name tag associated with them. So for example, Jezrien is the king of the heralds, Ishar is the herald of luck, and whatnot. And I believe these titles also fit into my new theory. There's only 5 of them, so it can only be associated with 5 characters. But it's pretty interesting, and I'll tell you why. So like I said, let's start off with Ishar, Herald of Luck. Obviously this is going to be Navani Colin. But I don't think the title Herald of Luck fits in with Navani Colin. I think Herald of Luck is going to be Kaladin. Yes, he is the Herald of the Windrunners, but he will have the title of Herald of Luck. I mean, the guy's lucky, right? I mean, he survived Bridge 4. Next one is obviously Jezrien, who was Herald of Kings. This is going to be Navani, who's now Herald of Queens. I think that will be fitting. Then we got Nale, who is Herald of Justice. This is the only one that's going to stick with the order. I do think Szeth will be the Herald of Justice, just like Nale was for the Skybreakers. Alright, moving on, we've got Shallash, who is the Herald of Beauty. I don't think this will be Shallan. This is not a dig at Shallan not being beautiful. I just don't think beauty's ever been something associated with Shallan. Wow. I did not expect Shallan slander in this video. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying the title doesn't fit in with Shallan. There's no way to put this without being rude. It's not Shallan. There's one character in this list that just fits in with this idea of beauty, and that's Jasnah. She's always described as being like the most beautiful woman in Alethkar. Every man wants her. She wants no man. And I think it would be funny because Jasnah would be the one who's so opposed with having the name Herald of Beauty, and she would hate it. And I think that's why it's perfect, because Shallash is also someone who hated her title. She hated how people revered her, and I think that kind of fits in with Jasnah, despite the fact that Jasnah is not actually a Lightweaver like Shallash was. So Town had the title Herald of War. This is where things get interesting. I believe Shallan is going to be the Herald of War. I'm telling you, Shallan's going to be the Herald of War, and it's going to be really interesting. Why? Because in Rhythm of War, she quite literally commences war on the Ghostbloods. The answer's right there. So yeah. Tell me, guys, what do you think of my theory? Do you believe it? Am I crazy? Am I just being a stupid idiot fanboy? I'm just having fun here. Anyway, tell me guys in the comment section what you thought. You could call me an idiot if you want. That I get it. Okay guys, before I end the video, I just want to give a quick thank you to all the artists who personally lent their permission for me to use their artwork in this video. So that's Ari Ibarra, RM Artsbren, and Zirael Art. I'll link all of their socials, ArtStation's Instagrams in the description below, and I'll also link all of the artists responsible for all the artwork you get in the physical copy, such as the Herald artwork and the cover art. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.